Hi, my name is Sheila Hill. I'm an intuitive life coach and a spiritual guide. Today's video is about the thumbnail that I used to create this video and bring it to your inbox, called the Space Weather Live app. It's something you may want to download. It is a free app through the Appstore called Space Weather Live. Now stay with me and I'll explain why it's something you might want. Our ascension process is highly linked to the light codes that we receive from the sun. If you are connected in any way on any form of social media, and particularly if you have been following my content for any length of time through Facebook, you will know that I report very often on solar weather events. Now, where this affects you and why you might be interested in this is that essentially what is happening for us for the purpose of our ascension is that light codes are coming in from the grand central sun, which I call source, through the planetary sun, which is the one you see in the sky. And those light codes infiltrate into the body at a cellular level and rewrite the cellular coding, programs, and memory, which then ultimately activates your multidimensional DNA. This is ascension. Now, are there other sources of energy and codes that we are receiving from what we also call immeasurables? Yes, because our galactic family, astrological alignments, there are other components to this, but the biggest component is cosmic radiation. This cosmic radiation comes from the grand central sun through the planetary sun and infiltrates into our cells. So the reason that you might want this app is because it is the one way that we are able to measure the dance that we are doing with the energies that are coming into the planet, to assist in our ascension process. Some people are highly, highly sensitive to the solar weather events, and some less so, and some are going to become in the next few months, leading into the fall and towards the end of the year, much more sensitive than ever before. This is where your relationship with your body and what your body is asking for is going to become highly important for your ascension process. Because remember, as much as we talk about trauma and healing and consciousness and all the topics that go with all of those sort of areas, it is the physical body that is ascending. So the physical body is going to ask for support and resources in ways that it has never asked for before. These resources can be rest. It can be fresh fruits and vegetables. It can be more denser foods and sin foods such as sugar, depending on what the body is requiring, what it's going through. It can need a significant amount of rest, and it will always require a significant amount of good quality water. Good quality being as best quality as you can get, hopefully not from your tap. Unless you know that that's good quality water, of course. So what this app does is you may be going about your day feeling just fine, and then all of a sudden heart palpitations hit, or you feel extremely fatigued for apparently no reason, or you get really hungry for no reason, or perhaps you get a headache, or you get dizzy, or some other form of ascension proof or calling from your body for support comes into your awareness. And you're like, what the heck is going on? Have I touched something, done something, created something, ate something, drank something, touched something? Like, what happened? All of a sudden I was fine and now I'm not so fine. When you have the notification on your phone showing that some type of solar activity has happened, it just takes the crazy out of the process. You can look at it and go, okay, now I know what this is. This has just happened. It's just come in. Now I know that I really should just go and rest for half an hour, or I really can't put off eating. I've got to do it now, or I'm really going to have to bump up my water intake for the next 24 hours, etc., etc. That's all that it is. You don't need this in order to ascend. You're going to ascend anyway. You don't need to be any kind of weather meteorologist, scientific guru, God knows. I'm only bringing you this because it's just something that I use and that I'm aware of, but I am by no means a specialist in this area. But I just find it very helpful. So I'll give you sort of the quick and dirty on what types of notifications you could get from the app and what they mean. Again, this is just to help take the crazy out of the process and to help you understand when the energies are asking to integrate with your body and engage with you, that you kind of have a better heads up of what's going on so that you can be more aware and support yourself in every now moment and support your body. So there are sort of three types of things that can happen. You'll get notifications saying that there's been a radio blackout. That usually is followed, and it'll tell you like a zone. It hasn't happened in North America very often, but in Asia, Australia, and over in sort of that side of the world, which may be exactly where you are, it comes up, it has been coming up more often in those areas. What typically I have been finding that if there is a radio blackout notification, within a few minutes, you'll then get a notification saying that there's been a solar flare. Solar flares come in the ranking measurement. Again, you don't need to know this, but you might want to know, like, am I looking at a 0 or am I looking at a 10? What happened? So the ranking for solar flares is A, B, C, M as in Michael, and X. X being the highest, A being the lowest. We typically don't get A's and B's. C's, sometimes we can get 10, 15 of them a day. M's are typically something that we get talking about, and you'll find people on social media mentioning them. X's are the highest value or the highest class of solar flare. They used to be an absolute mind-blowing anomaly. And yet just in February, within 24 hours, we had 3 of them. So they're becoming more and more potent as our ascension cycle moves into solar maximum or solar cycle 25. I'm not going to get into that. I don't have a lot of information on it. So for solar flares, it's A, B, C, M, and X. And within each ranking, they go from 1 to 9. So an M1 isn't as potent as an M9 because an M9 is almost an X, just to give you an example. The other thing that you may receive if you start using this app or becoming more aware through your social media contacts that this is happening is geomagnetic storms. Geomagnetic storms are measured based on KP. KP 1 through 9. 1 through 4, not really talked about. 5 and 6, you're going to feel that in your body. It can bounce, like I've seen it bounce from 6 into 7 for just a couple of minutes, but then it comes back down again. But typically you feel that. When there is a geomagnetic storm, solar storm, the geomagnetics of the planet are being reverberated, and usually within hours or days, it'll show up on the Schumann resonance. It also affects our own geomagnetic field. We are one with the planet. We have a geomagnetic field within us as well. That's what keeps us here, keeps us grounded, keeps gravity working, all of those things. So those are the 3 main types of notifications that you would likely get if you start using this app. The where to find the information and how to work within the app, excuse me, I'm gonna have to leave that for you to figure that out on your own. But even if all you do is just download the app, turn on the notifications, and then monitor how you are feeling, what your body is asking for in the way of resource and support, and what the notifications are that you've been receiving, it will just give you another laneway, another navigation tool for coming into more deep, sacred honoring of your body's ascension process. Because again, it's the body that is ascending. So I am not a scientist. I am not a meteorologist. I am not a specialist in this area whatsoever, but it is a tool that I use. I do find it helpful. I try as often as I can to update within my Facebook community when there's been an event, because it just helps take the crazy out of it. So I hope that this helps you. If you have any questions, I will try and answer them, and I will meet you in the comments. Until next time, bye for now.